Happy Wellness Wednesday, everyone. Today is Wednesday, February 20th. My name is Zami with Spiritus Wellness, and this week we are going to continue our conversation about my approach to nutrition. Last week I spoke to you all about my practice of mindful eating as well as prioritizing protein at each meal. This week I'm going to talk to you about some of the benefits as well as challenges of having a feeding every 3 to 4 hours. Now, when I say have a feeding every 3 to 4 hours, I do not mean have a meal every 3 to 4 hours. What I mean is have 3 meals a day, and then every 3 to 4 hours after you've completed each meal, also have a snack. So that looks like breakfast, lunch, and dinner. In between breakfast, lunch, and dinner, you're having a small snack, and maybe a small snack before you go to bed. Now, some of the benefits of having a feeding every 3 to 4 hours is it allows for your blood sugar to not drop, which regulates our insulin. It also allows for your energy to be replenished throughout the day, which means you're not crashing in between meals and you're able to stay focused throughout your day. It increases our metabolic rate, which means that our body and our metabolism is able to release energy faster and easier because it knows that you're going to refuel it. And then it also is less extreme and allows for snacking. So folks who are trying to slowly shift their eating habits and create a mindfulness practice around their eating and their nutrition, instead of going on one of these fad diets or trying to go from snacking throughout your day to something like intermittent fasting, which I don't have anything against intermittent fasting. It's just if you go from eating throughout your day to all of a sudden eating just once a day or eating just like during a 3-hour window, that can feel very extreme for our bodies as well as for us emotionally and mentally. And so having a feeding every 3 to 4 hours is allowing us to practice mindful eating, prioritizing protein, and practice a healthier nutrition practice without going to one of these extreme fad diets. So that's some of the benefits of it. Now, some of the challenges of having a feeding every 3 to 4 hours is it is time consuming. It requires a lot of meal prep to be able to do that if you aren't at home all day. So most of us have jobs we have to go to. So if you are someone who has to go to work and you are trying to eat every 3 to 4 hours, that means you have to prep minimum 4 feedings to go with you, right? And so if you are prepping your food, that takes time, and not everyone has that type of time to be able to do it throughout the week, or you have to make sure to make time at the beginning of your week or during the weekend to do so, right? So that can be a challenge for folks. It can also be a challenge because if you're someone who is on a limited income or you have a set budget, if you don't know how to meal prep on a budget or you're struggling with financial sustainability, then being able to afford multiple feedings can be something very difficult. So that is also a challenge. Another challenge is it can be easy to overeat when you are consuming something every 3 to 4 hours. So if your goal is to drop body fat and lose weight, then that means you have to be mindful of your caloric intake and your portion sizes, right? If you are just learning how to control portion sizes and meal prep for your goal, then you might mess up a few times and you might end up consuming more food than your intended goal is. If you are working to gain weight and build muscle and it's bulking season, eating every 3 to 4 hours is something really great. It makes it easier to do that. But again, you can end up overeating if you are not mindful of portion sizes. And then the last challenge is if you forget a meal, then you're tempted to eat out or maybe grab something that doesn't fit into whatever your wellness or your nutrition goal is at the time. And so eating every 3 to 4 hours, it has its benefits as well as its challenges. Just like anything else that we do, this is something that I have found works very well for me regardless of my goal is, whether I am working on gaining weight or working on losing weight. And I actually don't really focus on losing weight, but when I'm working on gaining muscle and gaining weight, or I'm working on dropping body fat, then eating every 3 to 4 hours has worked for me regardless of what my goal is. So thank you so much for tuning in this week for Wellness Wednesday. Next week, I'm going to talk a little bit about eating for your goals and creating a nutrition plan that supports whatever your goal is, okay? Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you for tuning in. Hope you have a blessed rest of your week, and see you all next week.